Hey yarn lovers, today I'm at London Heathrow and this week I'm off to France. Hey guys, welcome to London's Heathrow Terminal 3. This week I'm off to France for a crochet retreat with Lucy from Attic 24 and Stitchtopia Holidays. This week I'm in beautiful Chateau in France, and I'm here at part of the Stitchtopia crochet retreat with Lucy from Attic 24.
My background is in embroidery and textiles. I studied art and design at college and was obsessed with stitching in my early 20s, and I came to crochet after I'd had my children, and I was looking for a way to get back into something creative but without all the paraphernalia of machine embroidery. Crochet just fit right in, so I'm actually self-taught with crochet, and that was 12 years ago, I think.
Wow.
And I started my blog around about the same time as a way of recording my projects and sharing them with online friends, as I didn't know anybody at the time that crocheted in my real life. So I was quite alone at the time and used blogging as a way to connect with other people, never realising for 1 second that it would change my life in a way that it has.
And now you have thousands of friends, all through the internet, through the interwebs.
And I feel very connected and very, very lucky that we now have this online world that we can tap into from our own homes. I think it has really changed life for me.
What's your favourite thing to design?
Blankets. You didn't need to ask that. It's so obvious.
Everybody watching might not know.
Okay, so I'm absolutely, if you don't know me, I am obsessed with making blankets, and my very first crochet project was a blanket. I learnt to make granny squares as my very first learning experience, just because I wanted to make a crochet blanket, which it took me 5 months, my first blanket.
Wow.
These days I probably take 6 weeks to make a blanket. I'm quite fast at working, but I absolutely adore making blankets. I love planning them, I love building the colour palettes for them, I love finding inspiration for them, and I just love having a big project that spans over many weeks and months. It's exciting for me.
What's your process when you're designing a new project?
I will always go to the colours first. That's the most important thing for me, building my colour palettes. It's what excites me the most about design. I say really I'm a designer of colour, and almost the blankets are then a secondary vehicle, if you like, for expression with colour. So I will use nature, the seasons. I have lots of sources of inspiration, and I take many months to percolate an idea before it comes forward, but that to me is the best thing about it.
What do you do when you're not crocheting? Are you ever not crocheting?
I write a lot. I spend a lot of time on the computer, so as well as writing my blog, I also have my Instagram, my Facebook page and Facebook group. I also do social media for Yarndale, so again more social media. So I write for magazines. I spend a lot of time writing, it seems, but I like just being at home. I like walking, I like being in the countryside. So I'm a mum of 3. I still have a 9-year-old. My life is pretty full to overflowing. The juggling act is real. It's crochet fits into a very busy daily life at home. Yeah.
Yes. So what's next for you then after the retreat?
Yarndale, probably. I'll be launching the creative project for Yarndale, a big charity project that we do each year. So it's my job to design and curate that, to write the patterns for it, to do all the social media for it. So that's my very next thing in line. After that, I'm already starting to work on colour palette ideas for my crochet along, which launches in November. So I spend a long part of the year working on those big projects. I launch 2 blankets a year, and they take me a long while. I'm designing for months in a really nice way. It's quite an organic process, but yeah, that's already on my mind, ready for November.
Nice. Can you talk about the charity project for Yarndale this year?
Charity project for Yarndale, we're going to be raising awareness and funds for Mercy Ships UK, which is a charity that takes old, big Navy ships, I think, and converts them into floating hospitals, and they train doctors and nurses on the coast of Africa, but also they're sort of completely staffed by volunteers from the UK, nurses and doctors. And we're going to be making and collecting teddies, the teddies for tragedies, so knit and crochet teddies. They're about 8 inches tall, a beautiful little pattern from the World War II era, and we're hoping to collect 1,000 teddies, which will then go out to the ships stationed off the coast of Africa, and every child that goes forward for an operation will be gifted a teddy to keep. So it's a very emotional project, but real special.
And very worthwhile.
Very worthwhile, yes.
Lucy has been teaching us already about color theory this morning, and we've been having a play with a beautiful 20 color palette that she's put together for the retreat. We're working with Rico Rumi Cotton DK, and the projects that we're going to be doing are all based around circles. Crochet is not something that I'm super proficient at, so I'm looking forward to learning a lot this week. So the grounds of the chateau that we're staying at are really, really beautiful. I had to get a shot of this beautiful wisteria up behind me. I wish you guys could smell it. It's so gorgeous, really lovely. And it's already one of the new French words that I've learned, which is glycine is the word for wisteria in French. So it's the end of day 1 at the crochet retreat, and I'm just sat here in the garden at the chateau, and we've been having a marvelous day doing color theory and just playing with colors. We've made Lucy has taught us all how she makes her little color bobbins with these cute little clothes pegs, and I feel like I need to do this with all of my yarns now. She said it's her #1 top tip and secret as a designer, that she winds these all up, and it's much easier than playing with little bits of string or lining up all the balls or skeins of yarn in their order for how when she's planning a project with what she's going to be doing, and allows her to play with colors much more easily. But we've also been playing, once we've put our pegs in the order that we want, we've just been making little granny mandalas, and I've only ever made granny squares mostly with crochet before, so now I can do a circle, which I think is super cute. So that's one, and then I did one all sort of in warm tones. I'm very slow though, so I'm gonna have to do my 3rd one for homework tonight. And after we have our wine tasting in the cellar at the chateau, yeah, it's a great first day. Right, so it's the end of day 2 of workshops, end of day 3 here on the crochet retreat. We spent the first day making mandalas, and I think I showed this earlier, and we were just sort of playing with color. This one, we were supposed to do our favorite colors, and I just picked the yellow, and I was already trying to go kind of off-piste. I'd put together some colors with the little pegs on clothespins, or the little colors on clothespins, and really liked what was happening with these neutrals, so I did that. The second one, we were supposed to go split the palette in half between warms and cools, and I went with warms, and this one ended up being most of my favorite colors, so like bright reds and hot pinks, and again with more of that yellow. So yeah. Then the third one, we were supposed to go and do sort of with the other palette that we hadn't used, so just taking 5 cool colors and then adding 2 warm, and I put the purple sort of right in the middle. And this is what I'm still not sure how I feel about this one, but I've kind of, as I've sat with it, it's growing on me a little bit more. So that's that. And then today we've been making Dreamcatcher mandalas, and I'm super chuffed with how this has turned out. So it just needs a little suction cup to hang on the window or the wall. There was the rules were, or the pattern was slightly different in terms of let's make sure I'm holding it the right way, in terms of how everything was wrapped around the end, but I've just opted to do a single crochet, or in the UK a double crochet around the edge, just so that I could cover the hoop. And it was quite addictive doing this, so I'm really all about the instant gratification with crochet this week, that I can be finishing a project, 4 projects, as quickly as I have.
Tracy, and I travel from Edinburgh.
But you're not Scottish?
No, I'm from Ireland originally, but I have lived in Edinburgh now for coming up to 12 years, so I've been there a long time.
How did you find out about the retreat? What made you decide to come on
Instagram? I literally just saw an ad on Instagram for Stitchtopia Holidays, and I was like, oh my god, crochet retreats exist, this is amazing. And then I thought about it, and then I forgot about it, in that I thought I'll do that one day, and then my lovely husband bought it for me for Christmas this year.
Oh, so nice. Well, he's a keeper.
Absolutely. And also, I mean, that's it, the standard has been set now. I expect a crochet retreat every year. Yeah.
So have you always crocheted? Do you do other crafts?
No, I actually knit. I learned how to knit when I was in school, and I knit all the time. I only learned how to crochet about 2-3 years ago, but I love it, absolutely love it. I find it much easier than knitting.
It's more instant gratification.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like things work up much faster in crochet, and I started crocheting because I wanted to make the amigurumi, and
they're so cute.
But that's it. I was like, oh, I want to make this. So they're very cute, and I feel like the knitted toys, I'm not talented enough to make nice knitted toys, but
I'm sure you are.
The crochet ones are much easier for me. So yeah.
So that's quite good then, that you've gone from just learning a couple of years ago to you've dove right into the deep end to go on a retreat.
Oh, well, I find it's really easy, and the retreat here, I was never worried coming out here, because I was like, these people are crafters, they're going to be nice, and everybody is really lovely. Like, everyone is at a different level. Some people are really fast, some people are a little bit slower, but there's no pressure. It's just all very relaxed,
no judgment,
and lovely. And you know, you can crochet if you want to, and if you feel like you just need to take a break and just go and sit in like this beautiful surroundings, you could do that too, and nobody is, you know, there's not like a set number of things you have to make, but if you wanted to make 500 things, you could as well. So it's quite nice. It's just very relaxed. It's lovely.
Do you have any big takeaways from this week? Like any sort of
just how little I know about colour. No, that is one thing I really love, is I feel like I can take a pattern and I can follow it, but I feel like I'm not creative enough to sort of put colours together. And I look at like Lucy's blankets and I just think, how does she do it? Because they all just flow so well, and they're just, the colours are just, they really speak to me. And just listening to her, like, and, you know, her talking about the colour wheel and all that, makes me realise I actually may be able to do this myself.
Of course you can.
But it's lovely, and all the wool that we're working with, like the yarn, is just, it's so lovely, and it's just so lovely to look at, and it's just very relaxing, and I don't know. It's just lovely.
So you've been inspired then?
Yes, definitely. Well, I mean, like, I started this that I'm making right now. I mean, it's very, very still in its infancy. I think I started making it about 3 weeks before Mother's Day, fully expecting to have it made for my mother for Mother's Day, and it's not quite there yet. But I've already done more of it on this retreat than I have done in the last maybe 6 weeks. So I'm definitely inspired to do more.
Slow and steady.
Yes, definitely.
My name is Nima. I live in Enfield, which is in North London, which is where I've travelled from to be here in France for this wonderful week of crochet with Lucy from Attic 24.
Have you had a good time?
I've had an amazing time. It didn't meet my expectations, it exceeded my expectations. It's been superb.
Oh, high praise. Yeah. Have you been on many retreats before?
I've done a weekend retreat before, and I've done a couple of retreats with friends where we've just taken our yarn and Prosecco and done our own thing, but it's been brilliant having the workshops and a really good balance of some sort of touristy days where we've gone out to see the local area and then had the benefit of the workshops and Lucy's expertise.
Excellent. Do you have a favourite part of the workshop?
I think talking about the colours and putting colours together, seeing what did work, what didn't work, has been really inspiring, and it's really encouraged me to, rather than just follow a pattern and colours that someone else has chosen, it's encouraged me to look at what inspires me and to put colours together. So I think there could be quite a bright blanket coming out of this retreat for me.
A memento from
Definitely, yes. It's been good as well, sharing ideas with each other, looking at what other people are working on. I've been working on this corner to corner in the time I've been here.
And you taught me as well, so thank you.
There we are. So yes, no, that's been really good.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Mina.
That's all right, thank you.
So it's the end of workshop day 3 here at the Stitchtopia Crochet Retreat with Lucy from Attic 24, and we've been working on our large mandalas today, and it's been really interesting sort of going from a much smaller size project to we're doing a larger size stretch mandala, kind of like the dream catchers, but working with 15 rounds, possibly a 16th as you wrap around the final wire hoop. But it's been interesting to see sort of the planning required and the different color choices that people are making. Some people have gone for using all 15 colors, others people are sticking with their 7 or 8 and then doubling up, which is sort of what I was doing, and I thought I'd introduce another color. Didn't work. I was just really unhappy with it. So that's why I don't have anything to show right now, because I have completely ripped back to the 9th round, and I'm going to keep going tomorrow. I've eliminated the color that was bugging me. That's why I had to go so far back. I was almost done. I was sort of at the end, and it was just nope, not happy. So it's all been ripped back, and I'll continue that tomorrow, and then I'll have something to show you.
So my name's Donna Brush, and I've travelled from Worcestershire, which is in the centre of England, and I've been crocheting for Seriously, about 2 years, but I taught myself 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, so is that like a big deal then to go on a crochet retreat when you've only been doing it for 2 years?
It's super exciting, and my learning curve has been huge. Actually, in those 2 years, I've taken it really seriously. I've tried loads of new patterns, loads of different new yarns. So yeah, I felt kind of confident that I could pull this off.
Your stuff is beautiful.
Thank you very much. You're so kind.
How did you decide, oh, I think I want to learn or teach myself crochet? Like what brought you to doing it?
From the very beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to a craft fair and I bought a crocheted flower brooch, and it was really pretty, and I got it home and I thought, I think I could do this. So I bought a book and I couldn't make head nor tail of it. So I went on YouTube and I found pretty much the exact tutorial of the brooch that I bought, and I had dozens and dozens of attempts, and then it worked.
Nice. Did you end up selling them, or what did you do with them?
I gave them away. I gifted a lot because it was the only thing I could crochet, and I loved making it, but it was all I could do. So I must have made 30 of them, and I bought the little brooch pins and put them on, and every one of my friends got one that summer.
Nice. So have you moved on from that? Do you have a favorite thing you like to crochet?
I make blankets. All I make now is blankets. Probably 90% of my output. Yeah.
And how did you find out about the retreat?
I followed Lucy on Facebook and on Instagram, and I saw it on a Facebook post. And I missed out on it initially. It came up on Facebook and I messaged my husband and he didn't reply. And by the time he got back to me and said, oh, have you booked it? And I said, no, I haven't booked it. He said, oh, you should have done. And I called up and it was booked, fully booked. But I got a cancellation earlier this year, so I was really lucky.
Exciting. Have you had a favourite part of the week? Favourite memory from this week?
Favourite memory? There's been a lot of laughing. We've had so much fun. We've all got on really, really well. I've loved spending time with people that I have this huge thing in common with, because crochet is actually a really important part of my life. And at home, people kind of like what I do, and my family, you know, will ooh and ah over it, but they don't get it. I've got no one to talk to about it. And this week, just being able to chat about all things to do with crochet it's been really good. I felt really part of a community.
Nice. Do you not feel like that at home? Like, maybe not with your family, but do you have a knit and natter group that you can go to or anything like that?
I actually don't. I mean, I'm fairly active online. I'm on a few Facebook groups, and I try and kind of get involved, and I help people out when they've got questions, and you know, I comment on people's things, and in its own way that's quite important to me, to feel connected and see what other people are making. And I spend a lot of time on Instagram and I share a lot, and I like seeing what other people do, but face to face now I don't meet with anybody.
So what's next for you after the retreat then? New project, or what's next for you, crochet-wise?
Once I finish that enormous pile of things to do. I've always got such a huge list of things I'm going to do, but normally I follow a pattern and I follow a colour scheme, but I'm definitely going to be more adventurous now, and I'm going to start designing my own colour palettes, and the retreat has given me the confidence to work with colour, and I never had that confidence before, so I'm really excited to do something that's got more of me in it from now on.
Exciting.
Yes.
Watch this space.
Definitely.
So my name's Jennifer. I've travelled from Melbourne, Australia to attend this retreat in France with Lucy, and I heard about it on her blog, which I've been following for maybe 8 years now, and when I read about it I thought, oh, that would be impossible to travel so far and actually to get a seat on the retreat. However, that all worked out, and it was really timely for me because I'd kind of lost my crojo, and I thought, well, I won't worry too much about that now I'm going on the retreat, because I'm sure that will kind of kickstart me again. And I've had a long period of study, 5 years, so I haven't really been able to do a lot of craft, and so this was a bit of a reward for completing my study, and it's certainly it's certainly been a reward. It's been absolutely fantastic. We're in the best location ever. Fantastic like-minded women from all around the world, and such a pleasure to meet Lucy in the flesh. She is actually real and wonderful, and and have learnt a lot, particularly about colour. So I've really enjoyed every minute of it. The other bonuses were Alison, our fantastic rep from Arena, and the other lovely women. So yeah, it's been wonderful.
Oh, it's very sweet.
That's true.
Did you have a favourite part of the retreat?
Well, the two things stand out. Firstly, waiting in the arrivals hall at Lyon, because that was kind of the weak link in all of my plans. If I wasn't in the right place at the right time, I would miss the group. And the doors opened up and Lucy came through. I feel all emotional talking about it. And it was just so wonderful that I was in the right place at the right time, but also that she walked through, and it was just like, wow, this is actually real. And then the second thing was that first morning walking in and seeing those pristine balls of gorgeous yarn before we all kind of trashed the room with all our junk and stuff. Apart from that, it's all been consistently good. I think the highlight of each day for me was the morning. I'd walk in and think, oh, what are we going to do today? What am I going to learn? All of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I suppose they're the three things that stick out. Yeah.
Cool. And are you going back? Is your Crojo back now? Are you going back inspired?
Yeah, totally inspired. Our tour guide kindly put together a wonderful colour palette this morning that I think a lot of us are going to copy.
Oh, no, it's all good.
Yeah, so no, I've got lots of projects on the go. And the other really great thing was the knowledge that people have got about other yarn stores and yarn dyers and stuff like that, the independent people that are out there doing that stuff that we don't really have access to quite so much in Australia. So all the websites and blogs and stuff that I'll now follow will be inspirational as well, I think.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you so much, Jennifer.
That's my pleasure.
My name's Claire. I come from Norwich in Norfolk. I'm a mum of lots of children and grandchildren. I've been crocheting for many years, but I got back into crocheting when my middle daughter got married and we went on her hen weekend, and she wanted us all to learn something. So we sat around this big table talking wine, and myself and my best friend, we taught everybody around the table, except my daughter. She couldn't learn to do squares. And that really is the rhythm of it I think I like. It relaxes me, makes me fall asleep. And this retreat has brought colours to my eyes. Before I would do pieces of crochet and I would have other people like Lucy have directed my colours, and I didn't even think about the colours really, or not how they were put together, and definitely not how Lucy's told us how long it takes her to put her colours together is incredible. So that's certainly been an eye-opener for me. I've already got a project that Lucy's coloured out for me with her pegs, which I shall fit in at some stage. And it's been relaxing. It's lovely, lovely people. And people that don't glaze over when you start talking about crochet or wool or material or anything crafty. People with lots of stories to tell. Everybody's got stories, everybody's got a life behind them. it's just been magic. And I want to go home to see my lovely family, but I'd be quite happy sitting here for a bit longer.
Nice.
Yeah, good fun.
Do you have a favourite part of the week?
I've enjoyed today. I found that very informative. I really loved going around that town and seeing it with like again with colour in mind. There was a lovely stall as we went down to that wool shop that had got oranges and lemons, and that was just beautiful, and I probably wouldn't have noticed the colour before. I like doing all the mandalas. I thought that was interesting. For me, it was my approach to colour, because I thought really you just pick the pegs up and that was it. But you don't, you have to think. And when Lucy came round and reorganised your colours, they might be the same colours as you'd started out wanting, but she just moved one and it just made that difference. So it's everything really. It's all been enjoyable. Yeah, good fun.
Okay, I'm Jenny Cardo and I live in Norway, and I was scrolling through Instagram one day and up popped a post from Attic 24 about a retreat in France to come and learn about colour theory. So I asked my husband if I'd be able to go, and he said you absolutely have to do it because it's just a holiday that's made for me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So have you enjoyed yourself?
Oh, I've had the best. I've had the best time. I've had the most relaxing time. Really, completely switched off from my day-to-day, completely. And then also I've learnt loads, and not just from Lucy, but learnt loads from everybody else who came, because everybody's come with their own styles and their own who they follow and what patterns they're into. And I just really enjoyed all of that side of it as well, getting to know everybody and being inspired.
Do you have a favourite part of the week?
I do, actually, and it was on the Wednesday, so it was a day off from the actual workshop, and we went out in the morning on the boat, and then it was raining, so we all came back and we all came and sat in this lounge and had tea and had like a lovely, and Lucy was here as well, and we just had a lovely kind of knit and natter, but it was just so informal but really pleasant, kind of 4 hours just whizzed by. It was really nice.
So it really was a retreat then, sort of time to recharge and
absolutely
creative batteries and
yes, yeah, completely. Like every day I must have kind of saved and posted and tagged, somebody just says something in a conversation and you go down this little rabbit hole and there's 3 people who say something else, and I've got like another 20 projects now all lined up that I really can't wait to go and start.
So what are you going to do next? What's your next project then? Is it an homage to this week or?
Well, no, not quite, but it's one of the colour palettes that I worked out with Lucy, and it's based on where I live, Norway, and all of the woodlands, and that is now my home, and so I'm going to make this blanket it's going to feel like home, and because I have these colours that she's helped me to pick out, I really feel like it's going to make me feel like home. I'm really excited to do it, actually. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool. So you'd recommend going on a retreat like this?
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, I'd recommend it 100 times over, and I would come and do it again in a heartbeat. I would absolutely recommend it to loads of people. And I've only been crocheting for 2 years as well, so I'm not
amazing.
I'm not like a really experienced or anything like that, and I've just gotten so much out of it, so absolutely recommend it to everybody. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm in beautiful Chambéry. It's our second last day of the tour. We've come by bus this morning from Chalaiseau. It's about 7 kilometers, not even, maybe about 25 minutes on the bus, and just come for a beautiful walking tour. We've seen the castle in the Préfecture of the Savoy region, which used to be its own region before it became part of France many hundreds of years ago. And the architecture here has been fabulous. We've had plenty of time to sort of wander around. It's market day, see the market, have a cup of coffee on the square. It's been really fantastic. I've even found a FNAC, which is a bookshop like Waterstones or Barnes & Noble or Chapters, and so have got some new French graphic graphic novels for my son, and yeah, just heading back to the bus now and looking forward to some knitting and relaxing this afternoon, and tomorrow we head back to London. Anyway, it's been a really great visit, and I hope you enjoyed seeing some of these pictures from the retreat and video from Chambéry and Chalaiseau, and yeah, we'll see you again soon. If you've liked what you've seen, please do feel free to subscribe and leave a message in the comments. It would be great to hear what you think, and if you'd like to see more of these travelogue type episodes. All right, thanks again. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.